and thank you for tuning in to Starting Small. Today, I'm joined by Babs Keen of FLEO. Babs, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, of course. So I'd like to start out with your upbringing. Where did you grow up, and what would you say your childhood was like?
So I grew up in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. It's a city with about 130,000 people, so not too big and not too small.
Mhm.
I thought childhood was awesome and amazing. My mom was a stay-at-home mom and also a really skilled artist, so we kind of had the best of two worlds in terms of always home-cooked meals and then also being immersed in art and design and creativity.
Mhm.
Um, we would take trips to local artist studios and explore their pottery or just get into painting at home. And I thought that learning about art and design and creativity at a very young age was very magical.
Mm.
And my dad was in the insurance business and also an avid Iowa Hawkeye sports fan.
Mm.
So we spent a lot of time at games for football and basketball. And then aside from school, I was always in a swimming pool. So I was a competitive swimmer, and like chlorine is still a very core childhood memory of mine. And I think that being so involved in swimming at an early age really helped to develop discipline and
Yeah,
also tap into competitiveness as well as create some unbreakable friendships.
amazing. I'm curious, what got you into swimming? Did your parents have an influence on that? Did you have a pool, or what kind of sparked that?
Yeah, so I was very, very cold. Not a lot of pools there because the winter seems to last for like 6 months out of the year sometime,
Mhm.
mostly indoor. But it was really just a way that my mom and my sister and I could go to the YMCA, and we learned to swim at a very young age. And it really kind of kept us busy during the cold, long winter months. And then later on, my first job ever was teaching swim lessons at the YMCA.
Incredible. So I saw you then went on to University of Iowa. So kind of following your father's footsteps. What led you to going on
Mhm.
to there? And then what did you study?
Yeah, so I went to the University of Iowa and I really just wanted to stay close to home.
Mhm.
I was not like particularly adventurous and kind of liked the security of being close to home. Iowa City, where the University of Iowa is just 30 minutes from my hometown of Cedar Rapids.
Mhm.
So I just wanted that security of being close to home.
Yeah. What was your experience like overall there? And then academic wise, what did you get into?
Yeah, at Iowa, I in the beginning I tried a little bit of everything and I did Spanish classes, writing classes. They have a wonderful writers workshop there and religion. I tried all of the things, and
Mhm.
I think along the path of discovery found that there was a major called Health and Sports Studies, and I kind of had taken one of the early entry classes and discovered you could get a degree in that.
Mm.
So I took just basic classes in exercise, performance, nutrition, and really just found a home in that program.
Yeah. I'm curious, what were some of your aspirations when you were in school? And then I saw some of your background, your resume. You kind of were an entrepreneur, like pretty much your full career. What was that time like in school, and what did you aspire to do?
When I was at Iowa, I was pretty much involved. I kind of think of those as like my yoga years. I was very uh, involved in yoga from taking classes all the time to also learning how to teach.
Mm.
And I wanted to eventually just be teaching yoga all the time. So my first business was a studio in England called Juice Pilates and Yoga.
Mm.
And I had really not exactly, I had moved over there with my husband and my certifications didn't translate. So I had aspired to teach over there, but they weren't matching the UK system.
Mm.
So kind of just bypassed what that roadblock was and opened my own studio. That was kind of the first experience I had with being an entrepreneur.
Wow. So yeah, you relocated to England, you launched your own studio. How did you have, first of all, the capital to launch that? You were right out of school as well. So what did that look like in that
Yeah,
time?
yeah. Well, everything that I've ever done, and my husband is my business partner as well, everything we've ever done, we've bootstrapped. So
Wow.
I worked like a maniac in high school.
Mhm.
I always had a job. I mean, as soon as I could get a job at, I think it was 14, I had a job. Taught swim lessons, tennis lessons. I've worked in a snow cone shack. I've done endless amounts of babysitting, and I saved like a maniac.
Yeah.
So, we were kind of able when the time came to take some risks and just went all in on it.
Yeah. Incredible. Take us back to kind of that launch of Juice. What were those initial offerings? Was it just you offering the classes at the time as like a private instructor? What did that kind of format look like at launch?
Yeah. So I had 6 reformer machines. So it was Pilates on the machine,
Mhm.
and quickly learned that, it's different doing a service than a product, and the scalability of only having 6 machines.
Yeah.
Um, so in the beginning, it was just me, and it was just me for a really long time, which is what inevitably led to kind of my burnout there, because I was teaching like minimum 8 classes a day, from group classes to
Wow.
private classes. And we were really immersed in the University of Cambridge, like student and faculty um, group there. And like their boat clubs are very popular.
Mhm.
So we were really kind of involved mostly in the university community.
Yeah. Incredible. As far as like marketing, like a service like that, especially in a new area, how did you pull in those clients? Did you have existing relationships or what was that?
Oh, yeah. So I this is kind of funny. So we
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do any of this, right? So like you just kind of do things and figure it out as you go. But we had printed like half sheet flyers, and we just went and put them under everyone's windshield wiper, like in all of the car parks and along the street. And I think it was try your first class for £1
Mm.
and bring a friend. And that was just sort of the promotion that we ran. And it was a really, like, honestly, like a very simple and fun and exciting and easy time in my life,
Yeah.
because there was no pressure. It just didn't seem like there was a lot of pressure. It's just fun.
Yeah. Incredible. So this time span, this is around 2010, and I know FLEO does come in 2012. So this is just like a 2-year time
Yeah.
span until you launch a product. What is that
Yeah.
period like? What introduces FLEO and that inspiration behind that?
So yeah, it was probably about, we officially founded FLEO in 2013, but
Mhm.
we had left England. My husband was in the Air Force, which is why we were in England.
Got
So
it.
we left England, came back to the States. We lived in Florida. We're stationed in Florida. And before we left England, I sold juice.
Mm.
And I really just I wanted to stay in fitness, but I didn't want to keep doing the exercise part of it.
Yeah.
I also was very eager to learn just a new skill, because I had been doing the same thing for a while, and I was just itching to do something else. Um, so I got Rosetta Stone in French and 2 sewing machines, and I kind of just spent some time in between the 2 things and was like, okay, which one do I want to kind of put more time into? And I think I just had a sense that the sewing machine was going to take me a little bit further than maybe learning how to speak French was.
Mm.
So I spent a lot of time learning how to sew and kind of how to make a product. And I would sit and I would take apart garments from start to finish and see how they were made. Any question I didn't know the answer to, I would ask Google or YouTube, and just self-taught how to sew mostly anything, but focused on shorts for fitness.
Yeah.
So yeah.
At this time, yeah, when you were sewing, was it really like personal use? Was it for friends? Did you know you wanted to launch a business at this point? What was that?
Yeah, I think at this time I started with a pair of loose fitting running shorts.
Mhm.
And I it was the thing I sewed probably over and over and over again the most. I'd probably made 30 to 40 pairs, and I ended up sending them out to friends and family. And I thought I was really differentiating here because I put like a slit closer to the front of the thigh, not totally on the front of the thigh, but like front side of thigh. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, these are going to be the freedom shorts. These are like so cool and different. Like, this is it. And then sent them out to friends and family just for some feedback. And while people liked them, it wasn't it.
Mm.
Come to find out, like, if you lift your leg, yes, you have that freedom, but like all that extra fabric was flowing behind people, which was not like
Yeah.
a favorite thing. So I just knew that that wasn't it, but I had to pivot and do something else. And I feel like at this time, I really kind of had all the time in the world to figure out what I wanted that to be. There was no real pressure there.
Mm.
And so I wanted to, the running short wasn't it. So I was like, we need to come out and make a statement with something. Like, what's a statement product that people are going to remember and no one's going to forget? And it was the itty bitty tiniest little booty short ever in like the loudest, brightest, most fun, crazy prints. And it just stuck.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm curious on this iteration, this pivot. How did you get that feedback from that? Did you ship that to the family and friends again, or what was that
No.
that you
Yeah.
knew
So
that
that's,
clicked?
yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. At this point, I did, well, no, I really didn't. I had
Yeah.
spent so much time at this point, we're in Evanston because my husband's at Kellogg getting his MBA.
Mhm.
And I had spent so much time in Florida, like leading up to this, learning how to sew and everything. I felt really prepared to go to a manufacturer.
Yeah.
So at this time, I was like, okay, the running short's not it. I think I've got like a good idea here with just being loud and crazy and fun and putting some fun into fitness. And so I was ready to go. I was ready to go and find a manufacturer, and had spent a decent amount of time looking in the Chicago area.
Mhm.
And we've always been made in the US. We're still made in the US.
Okay.
And I found our first manufacturer in the Chicago area. He was perfect for what we needed at the time. And he did the first run of our production, and it was awesome. We did 3 colors, a black and a blue and like neon pink, neon orange leopard.
Mm.
And I just, there is this app called Instagram, and so I
Yeah.
put it on Instagram, and it was like we found a product market fit almost instantly with the CrossFit market.
Mm. Incredible. So yeah, so the manufacturer makes this run for you guys. Take us through the kind of that inventory, the logistics from that first launch. Did you guys hold inventory in house and ship yourself? What did that look like?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like, we
Mhm.
had everything. We didn't, first runs were pretty small.
Yeah.
We had to meet the minimums, but we met the minimums, and we did everything in house for quite some time. Shipping out of our apartment at the time, and then later from our house. And then I think we moved to a shipping partner in right after Hurricane Harvey, whatever year that was.
Okay. Got it. So, and then you
So,
mentioned, or go ahead.
oh,
Oh, sorry. You mentioned Instagram. So Instagram, you guys rolled out on Instagram. So I know you're heavily into kind of digital influencer marketing. What did that launch look like for you guys, marketing wise, to then get this product out?
well, I had no idea what I was doing. So
Yeah.
at that time, I think I had 2 kids at that time, 2 little bitties, and I had been off of like social media for a really long time. It's never really been like a personal, like, objective of mine to build a personal audience or to engage. I love doing it from the brand side,
Yeah.
which has been always been my passion. So I really didn't know how it worked that well. So I literally just put the shorts down on the ground and took a picture from my kitchen and put it up on Instagram, and that was kind of the start of things. I was fortunate at the time for a couple bigger influencers and people within the fitness space to see that initial picture and then contact us, and say like, these are awesome, would love to try a pair. And so we would send out to those initial people, and kind of just kept that rolling.
Hmm. Amazing. So once you guys built this momentum with this first SKU, what then led you to launch and kind of diversify with some other products? And what were those next products then?
Yeah. So the next product was, I believe it was a capri pant.
Hmm.
And that was not it either. So we had a hit with the original short, which was like the tiniest little booty short. And then we did a capri pant. It wasn't it. It had contrast coloring on it. It was too color blocked for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So then we were like, okay, we are shorts people. Let's just offer some more short styles. So one of the things about FLEO in the beginning was it was a really intimidating product, but
Mm.
it was that like really, I guess, sort of intimidating factor that also made it super edgy and super interesting.
Hmm.
So we took the original SKU and style product and did a little play on that and made like a longer inseam and a higher rise just for more coverage. So then the next probably 4 to 5 products at least after that were uh, just different coverages for the shorts.
Hmm. Getting to the point of scaling, you mentioned you guys were shipping for a long time yourself, and are you with a distributor now, or a
Mhm.
3PL? Okay. At what point did you guys realize you had to shift to that 3PL to then ship products that you got to that size?
Yeah, I think it was at least for us. So we're in Houston,
Okay.
and Dallas is really a central location for a lot of transportation.
Mm.
And what we had experienced during Hurricane Harvey was that we did have a 3PL here, and even despite a hurricane and a really big tragedy like in our community, people were still wanting their packages very quickly, and
Yeah.
we were having a really hard time getting stuff out of here. So we just that was kind of it was really that prompted it. That was our shift of being
Mhm.
like, we just need to be somewhere closer to just quicker transportation.
Yeah. On the side of like product development, and you mentioned the getting into kind of the capris, the other options that you offered initially. How do you take consumer feedback, or how do you guys then evolve to new products? What does that look like in the R&D process?
We love consumer feedback. So
Yeah.
like the FLEO community is very passionate and very vocal and very involved, and like community for us is everything. Like
Yeah.
product and community are number one. We are product people and we are community people, and we've used different platforms to communicate with our top customers. Of course we do customer reviews on the website
Mhm.
that we always listen to and take to heart, but we also talk directly to our customers through all different types of, you know, mediums. And we really just listen to them. So, if
Yeah.
there's something that we're lacking, we turn it around and can give them what they want if they are interested in something new and different. And we really just vibe off of each other because, like, at the end of the day, like everyone here in our office is also like a consumer of FLEO. Like we're the customer too. We love FLEO. We wear
Yeah.
FLEO every day through and through from head to toe. And so it's just a really natural process for us to talk to our customers, and we love them.
Mm. Talking on that community, what does that look like? Kind of that demographic. I know you mentioned CrossFit at the beginning, but what does that look like today if you can depict that?
Yeah, so we've grown quite a bit since the beginning, and
Mhm.
definitely CrossFit is our core market.
Yeah.
We also are very much, I just say, women's strength sports.
Yep.
So powerlifting, weightlifting, some general gym goers, um, anyone that's competing in some of the various races.
Mhm.
We're also pretty prominent there. And I think at the end of the day, the growth has really come from um, mostly like women who are still competing. Like a lot of our customers compete. They're doing competitions.
Mm.
They are. I mean, now. I mean, there's several. that do Peloton as well. I think there's like a measurable aspect of in competition that's always been very core to FLEO.
Yeah. What in regard to like Peloton and those other events and competitions, are you guys like active into like athlete endorsements, sponsorships? What does that community look like of like professional athletes?
Yeah, that's we are
Yeah.
we currently we are we have done a couple of different things with sponsorships throughout the years. Um, but I mean, not too much.
Yeah, no, totally. Getting into, you mentioned the team internally, you guys all wear FLEO. I love that, first of all. What does the team look like? I'm curious from beginning to today. What does that growth look like? Does it skew? You guys have a lot of ladies in there, it sounds like. What is that like?
Yeah, it's all ladies
Yeah.
and Carl. So Carl's my
Love it.
husband, and yeah, he holds his own. He does a good job.
Yeah.
It's all women, and not to say that men couldn't work here too, but we, you know, I think one of the things that is like we're very passionate about is you have to. I mean, you have to know the product through and through.
Mhm.
I think that's always been one of our competitive advantages is because we make everything and we design everything and I mean, we truly are making something different than what's currently on the market.
Yeah.
You know, we use each other within the office as feedback as well when we're creating a new product. We really put it to the test. So
Mhm.
if we're creating a new tank top or a new bra, you know, I know to give that to whoever in the office is going to be doing burpees tonight. If we have you know, a new pair of leggings or a new fabric, you know, rope climbs for sure. Like, and the instruction is go destroy it, like go beat it up, because we know our
Yeah,
customer is going to go do that.
for sure. Talking on like retail, are you guys in any retail or have you had that opportunity or foreseeable in the future? What is that like?
Yeah, we're not currently, we're still D2C.
Yeah.
The like pop up or like um, storefront opportunities that we've had are mostly within CrossFit games and CrossFit competitions.
Mhm.
Um, it's definitely not ruled out for us in the future. It's
Yeah.
just something that we haven't focused on right now.
Yeah, definitely. For the listeners out there, kind of give us like a picture of what is FLEO kind of, what would you say in comparison to competitors? Like what
Mm.
benefits? Could you explain?
Yeah, I think at least right now, like I like to say, FLEO's always been about fun. So like we started with bright colors. We will always have bright colors. There's a lot of neutral toned brands out there, but like in terms of um color palette,
Mm,
we've done every color under the sun like 5 times in all different shades. In terms of competitors within our space, you want me to like name some names?
if you want, I mean, just what differentiates you guys, would you say product wise? I mean, you can call out just
Product
like,
wise,
yeah, that'd be good.
um I would say like quite honestly like our like insane working knowledge and variety and styles in spandex, like
Yeah.
spandex in all of the colors. So I mean spandex is really like it's a core fabric for us.
Mhm.
We don't dabble too much in like fleeces and cottons and canvases or anything else. We are all in on all the colors and prints for spandex. And I think that, you know, it's a different fabric to sew.
Yeah.
So have a lot of like just a ton of experience with all of the spandex.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I like to conclude each episode with this. If you can share one piece of advice with an aspiring entrepreneur, maybe something you learned or regret along the way, what would you say that would be?
Yeah. I would say for me personally, and it kind of like is very just true to my experience right now, is
Mhm.
that you have to be 100% cheerleader and 100% fighter. And I think this path is, while a very like rewarding and amazing path and journey, and the only one I've ever wanted to do, it is also like the most challenging. You're going to have the most challenging days, and it's a roller coaster of emotions sometimes.
Mm.
And you have to be the cheerleader and the fighter for the days that you need. Some days you need both, some days you need one or the other. But to really go all in on supporting yourself through being
Mm.
a cheerleader or a fighter.
Incredible. Well, Babs, thank you so much for joining me today. And to the listeners out there, make sure to check out FLEO at FLEO.com.